there is massive energy coming into the planet now, that you're all the receivers of that energy. But we like to remind you that you are the energy that combined as one, as the mass consciousness of humanity on this planet. You are all embodying that non physical energy. Each of you has your pre birth intentions, but they interact and balance with the rest of the pre birth intentions. Everything is balanced perfectly. Those new ones coming in refresh the planet. Those ones who are leaving make way for the new ones. Everything is working out perfectly for everyone, but not from the human physical perspective that you might look at and say, oh, that seems sad, or that seems wrong, or that seems bad. From the non physical, with all of the combined energy and all of the pre birth intentions, everything is working out perfectly for everyone. You will see that when you return to the non physical. But if you could see it now from that higher perspective, then much of what's happening around you, outside of you, won't cause you to drop your perspective. And we mean this in a kindest way possible, that you are looking for things outside of you to drop your perspective. You might call this drama. In this sense that it is exciting to see what's happening in both what you call good and what you call bad. You are moving like a roller coaster with your belief system, with your limiting beliefs being triggered and your empowering beliefs being triggered. And we'd like to remind you that while that is part of the fun and excitement of this journey in this physical reality, it can become tiresome. It can become distracting. As you have all reached this place at the leading edge of thought, as you are all now looking for higher perspectives and understanding things in a new way, you can tend to drop that, or you can begin to drop that which is outside of you, in that it has any meaning whatsoever. You can begin to look at the things you thought were bad and wrong and see it from another perspective. How could it be good and right? You can understand when you're having a manifestation event, what's really happening. Well, there's a belief being triggered. There's a desire that you think isn't going to work out because of someone else doing something that's getting in your way. And this just causes you to drop perspective. In this drop of perspective, you receive what you call negative thoughts, you receive urges to change the conditions, and you just can't hear the inspiration, the intuition, and the direct communication of your inner self guides and supporters. To live the life effectively, to ascend to higher, lighter, easier, faster, freer, funner densities, to move in the most elegant manner on the timeline or the pathway that gives rise or gives fruition to your own pre-birth intentions elegantly in the way that you would enjoy from your human perspective. We say that look at things as neutral. Look at things as balanced. Look at things as working out. The homeless person and the billionaire are two ends of the same thing. One end has to be there for the other end to be there. One end is an experiment or a journey or of discovery for that person, and the other end is a journey of discovery for that person. Without the variety in between, this life would be dull. It's not what you came for. You came for the exploration of whatever it is that you're interested in. In the non physical, the fear will not carry forth from this reality, but the interest will. The interest that you have, you had prior to your birth. You are exploring that interest now, whatever it is. If you are exploring poverty, for instance, that cannot be explored in the non physical. There is a reason for that exploration. You cannot explore separation, loneliness. You cannot explore this concept of unworthiness. You cannot explore improvement in any possible way. All the things that you're exploring now are things that you intended to explore prior to your birth, to expand that consciousness, and that consciousness is expanding. But from your human perspective, living life in a way that you truly want to live, you want to know it's just an exploration. You want to realize, have I explored this enough? You will know when you've explored something enough when it no longer shows up in your reality. When it shows up again in your reality, you can know for sure that you still have something to explore. When you judge anything, whether that's an intense judgment in fear or a mild judgment, it is something you are exploring that cannot be explored in the non-physical. When you are hating somebody for something, this cannot be explored in the non-physical, and this is what you came to explore. What would it be like to feel so separate and forget who I am to such a degree that I would actually hate myself, because that other person is always an aspect of the larger you? What would it be like to be annoyed with myself, because the other person is another aspect of the larger you? This cannot be explored in the non-physical, and it creates great expansion, not just for your non-physical consciousness, but for all that is. This is why what you're doing here is so interesting to everyone in the non-physical. However, from your human perspective, do you really want to hate anyone? Do you really want to be annoyed at anyone? Do you really want to judge anything? This just is a remnant of a drop in perspective, or a symptom of a drop in perspective. Imagine now always understanding that some limiting belief has been triggered. You initially will drop your perspective. You'll initially feel it emotionally, the difference between where you were in perspective and where you dropped to. But you can raise your perspective at any time. How do you do that? You do it by looking at it from in another way, appreciating it, realizing it's here to show you something, and that you have explored it enough and you are ready to move forward. You're ready to let it go. The moment you let go something, if you truly do it in your heart, if you truly realize that it is neutral, that it doesn't mean anything, that you were just applying judgment to it, that is based in beliefs that are not true, the moment you drop it, you can go on to explore something else. But if something comes recurring into your reality, if it's happening again and again and again, even if it's getting less intense each time, know that it is not fully explored yet. Many, many, many of you came to explore this idea of victimhood. How can this play out in this time period on Earth? You are not a slave, but you enslave yourself in these paradigms of thought, these paradigms of relationships, these constructs. You choose your prison cell, but the door is unlocked always, and all you have to do is walk through it. You can choose to perceive that outside conditions make you feel something, that those people should not have done what they did because it made me feel bad. I blame them for making me feel bad. Well, you're just sitting inside that prison cell. To open that door means to release them of their control over you. They have no control over you. You just have a mental construct, have a set of beliefs, and perceive that they do. Why? Because freedom, true freedom, is a little scary. Who's going to take care of you? Who's going to comfort you? Who's going to do this and do that? Who's going to give you that attention? That attention is not required. That is a human condition. You do not need the attention. Many times that attention is what you call negative attention, is someone judging you. And most of that judgment is created by the thoughts you are attracting. You are free to be, have, and do anything, but you have to set yourself free. You set yourself free by realizing nothing outside of you can make you feel anything. You are choosing your interpretation of everything outside of you for a reason, for an exploration. If you've had enough of that exploration, It's time to set yourself free. And with that, we'd like to talk to you about anything you'd like to talk about. Who'd like to start?